follow all Moiseur's news on his website, www.moiseurs.com, and on his Facebook page.
Hello and welcome to Moiseur for this second video about the Yamaha YC, and today the topic of this video is about the drawbars on the Yamaha YC series. Before to let you with Grace and Paul, who have a better English accent than me, remember I'm French, so I have a French accent, I will remember you to see this video completely fully. You will find most interesting things about the drawbars and where we come from, etc, etc. If you like this video, click on the blue thumb, do not forget to subscribe and to click on the bell to be informed when a new Moiseur video is released, and if you want, of course, share a comment or ask a question with me. I'll let you with Grace to start.
For starting, first thing you need to understand is that our drawbars are not like faders on your Yamaha Mod X or Montage as examples. On Montage, you push up faders to get more volume. For organists playing makes us pull down to get more drawbar volume. Let's switch to an H organ. On some organs models or brands, you will not have LEDs that are displayed, you have numbers that are displayed. This is not the case on YC, we have clicks and LED, and we feel very well what happens when we move each drawbar. I have tried to make you hear clicks well, they are very important in my opinion. After that it depends. Some organists will prefer seeing numbers.
Another point, depending on how you are in place in a bar, or in a restaurant, when you bring your little Yamaha YC61, or the bigger YC88, you are not necessarily always well lit. In a piano bar, for example, you don't necessarily have spotlights that light on you, or sometimes on stage, you're in middle solo playing, Chase is on you, and it's a bit difficult to see something. So feeling well clicks is very important, because at least you know where you are when you're moving your drawbars. Second important point is that Yamaha put this alliance of LED displaying to indicate drawbar positions. This is not a gimmick either, and drawbars have transparency pulls to let you know where you are. We can change drawbars colors too, and do not think it's a gimmick.
Yes, I agree with you, Paul. Perhaps you think, what are colors for? As an example, you can make a color sound code for yourself. You'll see, it can be very cool. Perhaps for some quick sound change, you have only little settings to change, and you prefer manage them through different live set, to avoid maybe having to pull drawbars, depending on what you're doing, and if you're going a bit fast playing, you'd rather change live set. In this case it might be great to have a color code. As a reminder, when you change your live set, there is no sound cut. I'm going to turn some drawbars down a bit, because otherwise, we'll saturate YouTube video. Especially with this louder sound. You hear, there was no sound cut when I changed live sets. In fact, live set is recording of all commands that I have there on panel, and some settings that are in screen menus.
It's time for me to give you a proposal. It's only a proposal. For example, put blue for blues organ, blue equals blues. Yellow for jazz, this one work better in French cause yellow is jaune with JA for jazz. Red with R for rock, green for reggae, green because there's green in the reggae color, and you cannot put yellow and red if you've already taken them elsewhere. These are just ideas, afterwards you can do exactly as you want, of course. Made this type of color code can be interesting. Live setup, I see color blue, it's good, it's my blues organ. My god, it's red. It's not good, I made a mistake. It can help, it can be a good trick.
Now, remember one point we explained to you on first video. There are two types of keyboards on organs. There is the upper, top keyboard, and there is the lower, bottom keyboard. Generally, we play bass on lower and chords or solo on upper, and of course we can put different colors between upper and lower. That's time to show you, how do we switch from upper to lower. Simply by pressing this little button next to organ selection button, and you see that lower have here a different color. There is 7 colors available. To select a color, just go to Settings, Drawbar Color, and choose your color for upper and or lower. Magenta is kind of purple, why not put magenta for all lowers?
Yes, why not, Grace? Take in count that it's super important to be sure where you are for your drawbars management. Let's see one example. You're playing your solo, you were on lower drawbars management before it, and now, you want to change your upper drawbars position. You see color is purple, you have to change to upper. At a glance, you know easily where you are, and it's great. And then last thing, as a last resort I can say, you can also see your drawbars positions on screen. I only put one camera today, on YouTube full view you can see it better. When I move my drawbars, you can also see them on screen, so if you don't have possibility to turn your head on left, because you're playing a bit fast, you can check on screen too.
Yes, Paul, you're right. We are not all professional musicians who've been able to playing quick notes and focus on YC drawers on left keyboard side at the same time. Front of screen, you can see what you are doing with your left hand too. It's something quite well done, simple, well seen from Yamaha. Now, we just wanted to show you something else on screen. We already told you about upper and lower keyboards. How can you choose to play upper and lower, or upper alone, lower alone? Let's see with Paul.
Here we have only one keyboard with YC61. We can do a keyboard separation, it's called a split. To make a split, it's very simple, I press split button. I press note that I'm using as separation, and I press exit. It's done. I press on button below volume knob, red LED on right, that's mean upper play only from keyboard top right, up to split point. And below C3, I have no organ sound. I'm going to cut my percussion. If I press one other time, and I'm in lower position, you see that automatically, it's passed on lower. That's fine. Now, I can play my bass from bottom keyboard part, up to split point. If I press again, on screen you only see U line. So you have upper on whole keyboard despite split point. Split point in this case, is taking in count for key and or B, not for my upper organ. And if I press once more time, I have the 2 red LEDs light up. Now split point is taken count. I have on right keyboard part, my upper organ sound, on left keyboard part, my lower organ sound. I can play them both in same time. You hear how they sound different. Between upper and lower, which are split on keyboard, you can also see on screen that there are 2 lines displayed. If I select my lower, I can change lower drawbars position like this. These are really basic settings for using your YC. Now we're going to move on more technical and informative topic with Grace, a very interesting stuff.
Let's talk about drawbars. What are numbers displaying top drawbars? What does it correspond to? I've got 8 available clicks here. I've got 8 on all others drawbars. What's the point of all this? So, like Joel is not an organist player, he searched on organ reference sites of course, he couldn't guess all that, and we really found this topic fascinating. First 2 drawbars poles are red. It can be a debate, because on some brands it's brown, on others it's red, which is the classic, which is the standard. I'll say that it's not important, it's brown on some, red here. These 2 drawbars with red pole are called suboctave. We can have a very low bass sound with them. Paul, please, let us hear.
Oh no. There is my split point, and I put myself setting with you on the right keyboard part only. You see I did what it shouldn't have done. I'm going to set like this, to have whole keyboard range. If you ask yourself question while on doing a try at a music store, why I don't have any sound, take a look at these settings. Of course, we have high notes on keyboard top notes, but at the bass, we are using sub-octave. Next 4 drawbars are called foundations in organ terms. So we have sounds that are a bit more in mid-range, it starts to pull in treble too. To finish, let's see last 3 drawbars. I'm going to go down on drawbars. These are called brilliants.
We have here some strange little dissonances. It sounds a bit garish. We'll talk about all of that later. Some drawbars have a full number. You can see them: 16, 8, 4, 2 and 1. The others are named 5 and 1/3, 2 and 2/3, 1 and 3/5 and 1 and 1/3. They are not full numbers, they are thirds or fifths. Drawbars that have full numbers are an octave apart from one to the others when selecting one reference note. As remember, each drawbar is a sinusoidal waveform, there is no harmonic. That's why FM is good for making organs, with sinusoidal or frequency modulation base. So, what does this numbers correspond to? I'll take the 8, we'll keep it simple. 8 means that, if we go back to pipe organs, tube length is 8 feet long. 8 feet long is 2.5 meters, it's starting to be a nice tube. 16 is double size. So that's what this number corresponds to. Bigger is number, lower is the sound, because for longer tube, wider is large. Smaller is number, smaller is tube and higher is sound produce of course.
Grace, we also need to explain a little bit, that each tube have a specific name, such as bourbon, principal, fifth, octave. We won't go more into these details. You should also know that if we take H organ reference site, it tells us that we can make more than 253 million sound combinations with our 9 drawbars. Amazing, isn't it? Let's see some interesting things. For example, I take my 8 drawbar, I play C3. For Yamaha it's there. I take 16 drawbar, I'm going to play it here, an octave above on C4. And here you have the same note sound. I take drawbar 4, which is higher pitched, I'll play it an octave lower on C2. It's still the same note sound. I take drawbar 2, playing a C1. It's still the same note sound. I take drawbars 1 on YC61, we need to change keyboard octave. Let's see with Grace how to do it.
I show you buttons to change octaves, plus or minus 1 or 2, there I will do -1 octave, and you see also switch to activate or deactivate organ section. Playing now AC1 with octave -1 produce the same note sound. So for full number drawbars, you hear that there is 1 octave of separation between each of them if we take a reference note. Let's see for the others where they are to produce same note. I've taken my 8 drawbars which is here, I was on drawbar 4 earlier. I want to have same note sound, here it is, we're on F3 because it's 1/3 third. This one is 2/3, we're here on F2 you see we're back on the same note. He's the 3/5 we're sharper, so wait, I have to remember. It's here, we're on the A flat here. And for this last one we're going to come back on an F1 there. This allows you to see and hear differences between each drawbar sounds. In terms of harmony, it's important for building your sound. Because when you start, as I can say, mixing full-numbered drawbars with dissonant ones, you have to do it well, otherwise it can sound shrill. Afterwards, sometimes you want to sound shrill, why not? It's just important to understand where the notes are in relation to our various pipe settings.
Now, we're going to talk about registrations, or orchestration. Because when we come back to liturgical organs, to pipe organ, depending on settings we take, we're going to have orchestral sound correspondences, I specify correspondences. It's not going to sound like a real clarinet or a real violin, but that's what it's called. I'm going to show some informations on screen for details. If I set my 2 first drawbars at positions 8 and 3, so here I have an 83000000000. If I had last drawbar at 8 position it's 830000008, and so that.
If we talk about flute family, we take drawbar 8 and 4 alone for example, and here we are in quotes on flute family. I'm going to cut this because earlier I had changed, I'm also going to cut rotary, reverb as well and cut this too. That's basis, then I've put on display various organ instruments of flute family. If we want to move on reed instruments, clarinets or horns, will be more on a triangle shape, will be at 4, 6, 7, that's first basic position, see we're like this, and it makes a bit of a triangle shape. In terms of correspondence in relation to orchestral sounds, I always display them. Now we're going to move to strings, so we're going to find correspondences between inverted commas solo violin, solo viola, our sub-octave are always at 0. Here we're at 4. Here we're going to go down to 5. A little bit everywhere 5. And the last one is at 3. That is bass point for strings family. There's another one also called tuning fork, so here we stay on 8, 7, 7, 6. I do it now with clicks, advantage is that I feel very well what's going on. That's for orchestration references. I'm not going to spend too much time on that either, but you should know that it exists, and that it's part of organ history sound. It's always interesting to know.
Afterwards, if you search on internet, you will also find a lot of registrations according to music style. As example, a pop organ can be like that. I check, no pre-drive, octave is good. You can do a pop organ like that for example. Jazz organ can start like that. These are just starting points. Here we are soon on video ending. I hope that you found instructive all the information on drawbars, registers. This applies as well to montage, mod X and reface YC also if you own one of it.
A last thing before finishing, it is a small point which we had approached on Moassive first video, but we want to remind it to you. When we are on FM organs, there are only these 8 drawbars used. There are 8 FM operators, so there are 8 drawbars that work. About 9th one, it's normal that it doesn't light up, and it's normal that it has no effect on sound. Take in count that you have 8 drawbars available for F1, F2 and F3 organ sounds. In addition, F1 is the one with only sinusoidal waveforms, so it's closest to basic organ.
And this is the video ending. I hope you have liked it. I will retrieve you for the third video about the Yamaha YC, and this time we are going to talk about the percussion and the vibrato chorus. Bye!
Mosier, Yamaha Music Europe and Music France partner, purpose you its personal master class service, available in French or English for all users living in European Union. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced user, each session conducted one-on-one through Zoom allows you to progress quickly on subjects you have chosen with a unique pedagogy, giving you access to the best Mosier practical tips. Use all potential of your montage, MODX, YC series, CP73 or 88, audio modeling Camelot Pro or John Maylaws software. Book your place now for your Mosier's personal masterclass. You can directly request an appointment on available slots in Mosier Facebook page services tab, or by email at mosier@orange.fr, and do not forget. If you like this video, click on the blue thumb, click on subscribe to follow Mosier YouTube channel news, and click on bell to be informed when a new video is released. Comment or ask questions too. Thank you for watching, see you soon.